Okay, taxidermy. There are strict laws relating to the world of taxidermy, and particularly in relation to the rare beasts like the elephant and the rhinoceros. The law basically states that anything pre-1947 is okay to sell, provided that, particularly in relation to the rhino and the elephant, that the piece is worked. For instance, this poor chap here is deemed to have been worked because he's been stuffed and mounted onto a shield. That's fine. This also, for instance, is carved now into a walking cane and is deemed to be worked. Okay, so it's been changed from its original state. The same with elephant ivory. Selling an unworked tusk, something that looks tusk-like, illegal to do in this country today. This, however, is a 17th century carpet bowl, and therefore, as you can see, is not exactly tusk-shaped, though clearly made of ivory. So it is deemed to be worked, so that's legal as well. Why 1947, you ask? Well, a random date picked out of nowhere? No. Basically, the Act was actually put into place in 1997, and they deemed then that everything had to be over 50 years, hence 1947. So, what does one do when one has a piece like this, for instance, or a piece like this, or a piece of ivory? If it's worked pre-1947, you can sell it. You don't need licenses for it, not to sell it in this country anyway. You may well require a license to export it, but the thing is about these laws is that they keep on changing. And it's an ever-moving world. There's pressure put on governments all over the world to actually become more strict with this sort of thing. And it may well be that in the future that we're not able to sell this sort of thing within the law at all, that we're not able to sell any ivory. Now, of course, that might mean that you're not actually allowed to sell your Blüthner or your Steinway grand piano with the ivory keys on it. Let's see what happens there. I suspect that's a little way off, but it could happen. So what you need to do, if you're actually thinking about selling, if you inherited one of these from Granny Grandpa who shot it out there in the African plains in the 1890s or whatever, then you need to consult with somebody like us here at Moore Allen, and we will give you the up-to-date view on the law and tell you what exactly you can and can't sell, what licenses you do or don't need, and as I say, it changes all the time, so it's really worth consulting with somebody. So, we've dealt with the exotic beasts. What about the more native beasts? Well, the hen harrier, the peregrine falcon, marsh harrier, all native animals that, again, are bound by the Act and need to be pre-1947 to be able to sell them without a license. Now, you may get a license if you apply for one, if they've been killed after 1947, but no guarantee of that. So what you need to do is consult with somebody, again, like my good self, or somebody here at the firm, Moore Allen Innocent, who will be able to point you in the right direction and tell you exactly what you can and can't do with these things within the law.